What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, please consider subscribing as we do everything RC related on this channel. This week on my workbench, I got the two most popular 4S monster trucks, 110 scale. We got the Traxxas Maxx V1 and the new kid on the block, the Arrma Outcast V2. These are two sensational trucks, guys. You can't go wrong with either. But I get a lot of comments on these trucks. Should I go Traxxas? Should I go Arrma? These two brands are very comparable. So we're going to compare these trucks in 4 categories, guys. We're going to compare the performance of these trucks. We're going to jump them. We're going to bash them to see which one gives us the better bashing performance, and to see which one is more stable and basically a better drive. Another category that we're going to compare these two in is going to be the durability of these trucks. That's another important category. You don't want to be driving these trucks and you want to know which is more durable. I'm going to let you know which one out of these two is also the most durable monster truck. Another category we're going to compare these trucks in is the value category. So value is very important as well. We're going to see which one provides better value. And the fourth and final comparison that we're going to make between these two trucks is the parts and aftermarket support for these vehicles. That's also another important category that we're going to compare. It's important to have that part support when you pick up one of these vehicles. So we're going to run both these trucks. I'm going to give you some good running footage, and in that running footage I'm going to break down the categories, and at the end we are going to pick one. Though in my opinion, you really can't go wrong with any of these vehicles, but I'm going to give you my opinion on which is the overall winner of these two trucks. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get into it. So before we get started, a couple of things that I've done to this truck. This is the V1. The original tires on this truck I did not like. So I did put the D-Boots backflips on it. It performs way better with it. So we are gonna test them with those tires. Also, I did put the wide Maxx. This is the V1, so it did not come with it. But without that, this monster truck traction rolled way too much. I did not enjoy driving this truck. But ever since I put the wide Maxx kit on it, it did change the truck for me. This is a Pro Graphics body, and I did put a light kit to it. But everything else is stock, so we are running stock. I haven't done anything to this truck. This is bone stock as well. So we have the stock Traxxas electronics and the stock Arrma electronics on these trucks. So this is going to be a good comparison. So let's get started with performance. Now the Traxxas Maxx is running a 4S capable ESC along with this 2400 kV Millennium system. This is running a Spectrum 120 amp 4S capable ESC and its 2400 kV motor. Arrma does market this as a stunt truck, and this is not really marketed as a stunt truck, but when it comes to air control and flips, wheelies, this one is definitely superior to the Maxx. When it comes to stability, this is wider than this, so this really handles really good on-road, off-road. This just has amazing handling. So if you're into a truck that you really want to whip around a corner at high speeds, this will handle it a lot better to that. Another nod that goes to the Arrma is when it comes to bashing, this is a lighter truck than this one. One of the downsides I do not like about the Maxx is it tends to chassis slap. So when you're going on those bigger air sends, this one does tend to chassis slap. So when it just in the air, This one has, in my opinion, I think the shocks are better tuned for some nicer plush landings, and the control is just better on that side though. This is a great basher. It's super durable. We're not comparing the durability at the moment, but you can send this with confidence, guys. This truck is gonna take it. But when it comes to just overall driving of the truck, I do feel the Arrma does drive better, responds better, has better air control, and just gives me better plush landings with bashing. And performance wise, guys, I'm gonna have to give it up to the Arrma Outcast. And I think it really just comes down to, it's just a lot wider, more stable. Being a lighter truck gives you a little bit of better plush landings. It doesn't chassis slap like this one. With the wide kit, it was recommended to throw 50 weight on it. I have 50 weight in the rear, and it tends to chassis slap a little less, but overall it's still the chassis slapper when it lands. You can still flip this truck like this one, but when it comes to overall wheelie control and just overall control, the Arrma Outcast wins in this category. Second category we're going to compare these trucks in is the durability. I've had this truck obviously a lot longer than this one. This one just recently came out just a few months ago, so I haven't been able to put it through its paces like this one. But from what I can see, I've seen a couple of people on YouTube, they're having a little bit of problems on the chassis. They are both plastic chassis. They both have plastic drive shafts, but I haven't seen anyone really destroy this plastic chassis. And I've seen a few people sending this truck and having problems with the plastic chassis. M2C does sell a chassis brace for it, but we're gonna judge these trucks on as is. One of the downsides to this truck with this clipless body system, I have a hate-love relationship with it. While it's really nice and practical to put it on with just a little clip, if you don't land this truck, this body will go flying off, and you gotta go put the body back on. Where this system is tried and true, it's the tethered pins, this body will stay on. So overall though, from my experience, I've only had one breakage. I've had this truck for over a year and a half now, and I've only really broken a drive shaft on it, and that's basically it. I have a light kit on it, that's still working. Body has some breakage on it, some scratches on it and stuff like that, but that's just normal wear and tear. But as far as durability, guys, I gotta give it to the Maxx. This is a tank. I haven't had this truck long enough to really put it through its paces, but I would be stunned if this truck can outlast this one. There's just something about this design that this is basically a mini X-Maxx, and to me that's probably one of the more durable fifth scale monster trucks out there. So while I don't necessarily think the shocks and the bashing tunability are better than the Arrma, I think this lands better. But when it just comes to overall durability, guys, I'm gonna have to give it to the Maxx. This thing is an absolute tank. Our third category for these two trucks is going to be value. This is the V1 with the Maxx kit. I no longer sell this, but right now the Traxxas Maxx V2 that does come with the wide kit and the different tires and the extended chassis with the bigger battery tray does retail for $579. The Arrma Outcast V2 does retail for $479. So that is a $100 difference. And in my opinion, guys, this truck is not $100 better in value than this truck. Okay, they both are plastic chassis, plastic drive shafts. This does have the aluminum threaded shocks. This one does not. This is a little lighter. This is a little heavier. This does have the clipless body system. This one doesn't. As far as electronics goes, guys, they're really similar. I just give the edge to the Spectrum system. I feel that ESC is a little bit better than the Millennium ESC motors. They're both 2400 kVs. They're about the same in my opinion. But we're talking $100, and when it comes to $100, guys, these two trucks are so comparable. In my opinion, guys, this truck, it does not have $100 more in value than this one. Yes, this is more durable in my experience, but is it $100 more durable than this one? I don't know, guys. I think Traxxas is the more popular brand, of course. They tend to charge a little more when it comes to their vehicles, but this Arrma Outcast is no slouch, and coming in at $479 for this truck, as wide as it is. They're both 110 scale. It comes with the better tires right out of the box. I mean, there's just there's no way I can give it to the Maxx on this one. Of course, value is subjective. You might like the look more of this one than the Outcast, but that's just subjective. Overall, just cosmetics, you know. Judging this on value alone, I feel this is $100 cheaper, and I don't feel this truck is $100 better than this one. So when it comes to value, guys, the Arrma Outcast does win. It's $479 for a 4S 110 stunt truck, and out of the box, it handles very, very comparable out of this one. It even has better tires. This one might have a little bit beefier threaded shocks, but I just feel like the Traxxas Maxx, being a little heavier, the shock tuning is not really dialed in as the Outcast. So just this one might have a little bit of the durability on its side. This one just has better stability and better overall handling, and I think it bashes a little bit better than this one. But overall, they're very similar. Like I said, this has a cush drive, this has a slipper. I've never had a problem with the cush drive. I haven't had a problem with the slipper. So, but when it comes down to it, value wise, hands down, guys, the Arrma takes this category, coming in at $100 cheaper. I just don't see that this is $100 better than this truck. So winning that category, the Arrma Outcast. The fourth and final category is parts and aftermarket support. Traxxas is a very, very popular brand. Arrma is backed and owned by Horizon Hobby, another big brand. But when it comes to parts support, guys, I feel like in my local hobby shops, there's just more, there's a bigger name recognition and more parts for the Traxxas Maxx. Not that there's not part support for this vehicle, there is, but when it comes to the support for this vehicle, you get a light kit, you get different color arms for your wide kit, different color shocks, different bodies, different roof skid colors. I mean, just overall, you got these little inserts that you can change. Just overall, Traxxas, in my opinion, is the more popular brand. And if you're walking into a hobby shop, they're pretty much carrying Traxxas. You know, not that the Arrma is not supported, it is, but I just feel like with the aftermarket and your local hobby shop, the Traxxas being, in my opinion, the more popular brand, has a little bit better name recognition. It's kind of been around. It's just a little bit more established than the Arrma. I mean, this is a truck that we're gonna find parts for, and they're gonna be making it for quite some time. I have a Stampede. That truck's been around forever. Still supporting that truck. You know, so in my opinion, when it comes to the parts support and the availability at your local hobby shop, I feel like Traxxas just has a slight edge over Arrma. Honestly, guys, you cannot go wrong with any of these two trucks, whether you prefer the Traxxas Maxx or the Arrma Outcast. There really is no going wrong, but I do have to pick one overall, and if I had to just get one of these, my pick would be the Arrma Outcast, guys. A couple of reasons for that is that value, we got $100 cheaper for us monster truck here. It does have the sway bars, it's wider, a little bit better air control. Yes, this is a stunt truck. The Maxx is not really a stunt truck, but just overall drivability, guys. The way this truck is so wide, it just, in my opinion, guys, it's just a little bit better drive. The Maxx is not a terrible drive. Even on those speed runs, you can see how stable the Outcast is on road, and then you see the Maxx is kind of pulling one way at high speed, and then jumping them, that chassis slapping. Just feel that the suspension on the Outcast, along with the sway bars, just gives it, to me, in my opinion, just a little bit better of a basher. But honestly, like I said earlier in the video, the Traxxas Maxx is a tank, guys. The durability on that truck, hands down, in my opinion, is the most durable 1/10 scale monster truck that's on the market. But it's $100 more, and I just don't see the $100 more in value for that truck as compared to this truck. But I do like that the Maxx does have that great parts support. We get a light kit for it, some other goodies, the white kit, you could change the colors, the shocks, the inserts, there's more bodies for it. Just overall, Traxxas does a good job supporting their vehicles. So if you like that kind of stuff and you want to upgrade it with that style, then Traxxas is probably the better truck to go to if you don't mind spending that extra $100. But as far as performance, value, stunts, backflips, the way this truck performs, to me, is just a little bit better than the Traxxas Maxx, guys. Thank you guys for watching this comparison video. I had a blast making it, guys, and honestly, you can't go wrong with any of these two vehicles. They're both worthy to be in the collection, and you really can't go wrong with either.